with Southern Colorado's most accurate forecast.
12:44, it's been an interesting day. Many areas woke up to gray conditions, some fog, some ice fog. Then we broke out into the sun, had some 50s, even a few 60s south of the Arkansas River, and now the cold air is coming back in. Skyscan shows with that we should expect an increase in clouds through the evening hours. And then into tonight, we might even get a little bit of light snow. Skyscan is not showing much of it. You see a little blue here and there, and sure, we could maybe pick up an inch in a few spots, but I think for many of you it will be somewhat less than that. This will be most likely through the evening hours, say through about midnight or so. And then afterwards, indications are that any snow that may have developed should break up. We'll probably have some pockets of low cloud cover and fog through very early tomorrow morning. And we're going to get cold tonight with lows in the teens at lower elevations in much of eastern Colorado. Maybe 7 for Burlington. In fact, get up into the mountains, it should be a little bit warmer overnight tonight. During the day tomorrow, it looks as though we'll clear out any low clouds that may be around in the morning. And if we get some sun in the afternoon, then we may work on some of this colder air and warm eventually, perhaps back into the 40s for much of eastern Colorado. Might have some 50s once again south and west of Pueblo near the higher terrain. Higher terrain up into the mountain areas should be in the 30s and 40s. And it doesn't look to be a terribly windy day tomorrow. So really, once we get through a chilly start, it looks like a pretty decent afternoon. A little bit on the cool side with 40s for much of El Paso County. And even into Teller County, I think we'll have 40s up for many of you. Probably 30s in Cripple Creek. Well, on the Arkansas River, west of Pueblo, we'll go with 50s. East of Pueblo, probably 40s. And on the higher terrain, a mixture of 40s and 50s and breezy conditions during the afternoon. All right, the next 7 days, a little bit of a joke in the weather world. Kind of fun, to say the least. We're pretty comfortable saying that we'll warm up some through the end of the week. A weak upper-level system may kick off some sprinkles or some flurries over near the mountains Thursday afternoon, sort of like a summer afternoon, but we're not really expecting much. Then we head towards the weekend. And right now, we're going to tell you to plan for the real chilly scenario here as another real cold air mass moves into the nation's heartland. And we're talking about high temperatures that don't get above 0 for a good chunk of the northern plains. This is some really cold stuff. Notice how the temperatures, this change in the colors, real tight right here across northeastern Colorado. So this particular model is actually suggesting we will keep that just to our north and east. If we were to do that, then we might be in the 50s. Chances are it'll slide up against the front range, and if it does, it'll be tough to get rid of, and we'll go with temperatures in the 20s with some low clouds and maybe some flurries or some very light snow. It's one of those we don't know scenarios, and so we'll let you know as we figure it out. But the weekend could go either way. Pueblo will expect 50s on Thursday, maybe 60s on Friday. Get some wind out ahead of that surge of colder air that we do expect will probably at some point pay us a visit. And when that happens, 20s and 30s will be high temperatures with some low clouds and maybe some light snowfall. In Canyon City, look for 50s tomorrow and Thursday. We might touch 60 on Friday. Couldn't rule out a few flakes tonight, maybe a few sprinkles or a flurry if you're on the mountains sometime Thursday afternoon. The snow that you see through the weekend into early next week doesn't look to be significant. It's a few flakes here and there. But what would be significant is what the air is going to feel like if that cold air comes in. And in Teller County, we'll expect less chance for that cold air to move into your area prior to maybe Sunday. So we'll go with 40s before then and then maybe fall off into the 20s if we can draw that colder air up against the front range at some point. But I mean, that's really cold stuff. Considering we're going into March now, and we're talking about highs at minus 10, minus 15, lows down to minus 30 in a few cases. You can't really just poo-poo that and say, oh yeah, it'll just miss us by 50 miles because we're just that smart. Not going to go that route.
Your honesty is refreshing. Thanks, Marty.
I wish I knew.